Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm Mengru, low.
And folks, today giving you some more SD2 League play. And we're over here on Orsha North. So Ryan, who's duking it out? What are they bringing to the fray?
On left hand side in the blue, we have UUU playing as 17th SS with a Maverick income. Right hand side in the red, we have gnef playing Gruppe Tyurina, also with a Maverick income.
You know, looking at all of these particular, let's say, Maverick incomes in this game, I'm a little confused because neither player is really, well, neither one's looking for that C face for sure. But if you're looking at UUU with me, you start to see that this guy's got over half of his infantry, or just about half of his infantry, is going to come over here into C. So what's the deal with that? Is that just like a break glass in case of emergency kind of moment here?
Yeah, I think that's a smart move because, you know, if things don't go well, you don't win in the first 15 minutes or so, you don't want to be completely bugged if the match goes into a long stalemate. But looking at its initial deployment, we got a rush down south here from UU into the southern town, but also up north gnef trying to get into the northern town here, so definitely a little bit different. We're seeing less aggressive hill play so far, and more in the center, which is a nice change of pace.
It's a nice change of pace, you know, shooting from the hip and all that kind of material that's going on. Actually, you can see the P-Gruns and the SS Legionari holding out pretty damn well here to start with. And that town is under Axis control.
There we go.
Don't expect it to last too long, though, between the 45 mil, the T-34-76, and yikes, look at that southern hillside completely.
I know, it's a really cool push here from gnef. As he's using the Stuart tanks and rushing in with a BA-10. I mean, that Pack 38 is forced to fall back for the time being, allowing gnef time to move up his infantry and try to clear out the farmstead. So, pretty decent push here. Hopefully for him it will work out, but that's a lot of clusters to blow up two rather light vehicles.
That's true, and this is not the rinky-dink tiny bomblets. These are the big manly bomblets that can do a fair chunk of damage. And you can see right now the BA-10, while it is very, very good under the circumstance, I'm not sure I'd really want to rush my way into it. But you know what is rushing to the front at a blisteringly fast 135 kilometers an hour? Is that one of those U2 Tumans? Which I find
so
just charming.
Fast.
Oh,
and it even has
absolutely.
two bombs, like two 100 kilogram bombs. That's pretty impressive for like a biplane of that size.
Yeah, but you know what that is? I think it's more of like it's a couple of conscripts that they kind of loaded onto the wings and told them to drink like nitroglycerin. So when they hit the ground, they go boom and they blow up.
Boom.
So
That rust and blood is pretty volatile, I've heard.
oh man, exactly. That's why do you think they're always red?
That's true. That's very true.
And
But
he's
yeah.
aligning, but will he get the bombs off? No, he doesn't.
Did it crash? I didn't. It was very close to killing a grenadier at least.
Yeah, but close. They wasn't quite able to finish it off, and yikes! Even that southern town's completely under U's control.
Indeed it is, and that's definitely a very good trade to get into. I mean, 14-10 for him. He has a good control over center. I mean, that one superior is holding that flag in the northern town there, but that can be pretty easily dealt with. And then these infantry fights, if he can keep up with his SS Legionaries, which he has quite a decent amount of, he should have a pretty good time holding this town as, you know, once again, with that fanatical trait, they're really nasty to deal with.
Now, the big problem, though, is when we see this resurgent kind of reinforcement column down here to the south, we do see it's a couple of Strokies, got a 57 mil, a couple of T-34s, and down here, yes, there is a Pack 38, so that's what I'm not super concerned about. I'm more concerned about these tanks. That's a force multiplier, the likes of which that town is not ready to fight back with yet.
Yeah, if he can get it stuck for... Or I'd say stuck for is in a pretty good location there, just shooting down the road. He should actually do a decent job holding that town. He just needs a bit more infantry reinforcements to, you know, just put bodies in there to slow down the enemy.
That's true, and so long as he can get the Soviets to have their bodies at the floor, I imagine it'd be even better for them still. Can he actually see any of those tanks? He technically can, I think.
The Stug?
Yeah.
No, he's just a little bit off. You can see some of the infantry right now, but if the T-34s move forward another 50 meters or so, or the T-34,
As the
everyone
Pac
have a
W takes out
pleasant
one
day.
of them, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, UUU's in a very good position so far. I mean, both sides playing Maverick, so over the length of the match, it isn't really going to matter all that much. You know, once we get into C phase, things will definitely slow down a bit. But we still have a B phase to go to, Khan, and that's when the points start rolling off.
That is certainly true. It still goes down to the south, and actually there's a off map over here to the north. You're going to be dropping that nice big barrage of 76 Qs over here on the northern, like, factory area. And while the Stremavikis will probably be able to secure a capture or two, there's just enough infantry being brought on in that I don't think there's going to be so much to worry about, you know?
Yeah, and those Stremavikis is going to be too slow to actually, you know, effectively get a surrender on any of the fallen back troops. And the 2-3 run is still there, of course.
Wow, I really expected to have a much more... Yikes. I was saying a much more volatile connection there, but it does take out a P-Shrek squad. So decent enough. Not fantastic, but decent enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we're going to get an attempt maybe picking off the Superi over here. But, ooh, another off-map is below. He's going after the southern hilltop. Very interesting play. Did not expect to see multiple opportunities for off-maps, especially to deploy them where they did. I feel like that's, I'm not going to say underutilized, but I feel like there definitely could have been a more impactful situation for them. You can see in the meantime, there's no T-34s left here in the south, and while Pioneers are getting picked off, the Stremavikis, as they go closer and closer to the front, they're going to start to get picked up by more and more of this MT-42s.
Yeah, I mean, SS Legionaries are nasty, but you're not going to be like Fanatical and you have 2 flamethrowers being shot in your direction.
Almost as bad as this Pigran's taking on the Faustniki. He's going to probably kill a second one. He doesn't quite kill the second one, but it's pretty dang close.
Yeah, really close indeed, and those Faustniki taking quite a bit of damage, yeah.
And yikes, the Superi, I'm sorry, the Superi over here, he's going to be going down here. The Volksdeutsche, he's certainly engaging him, but with the 233s in support, I am stunned. They're not out yet just yet. This is going to happen pretty darn soon, though, I think.
Yeah, there we go. He's running out in the open. I think he's trying to get Panzerfaust shot off, but doesn't make it. And that will bring it to a 15-9, giving UUU the +2.
Now, we are seeing gnef try to work the angles. We're seeing a T-34, 76 Combroti. We're seeing a Stuart. Now, T-34 is making a quick rush on in. The really important thing is, does a 233 see the T-34 first, or is it the other way around?
I'd say T-34 should probably be able to kill him. Yeah.
Yep. And the Stuart does help as well. So he thinks, yes, I have this under control. Then forgets that there still is his lovely cluster bomb coming his way.
Here we go, that should be a dead T-34, but we do have the Stuart still around and some Strelky DPs. Not a whole lot of armor here from UU. He's bringing an Armada for Rupert once again. Good anti-tank, not a whole lot of armor. So the M5 should have a decent chance.
Stuart isn't engaged. Legionary have to dump out now, but too late. They're dead.
No.
14-10 down to the south. One more barrage. I'm sorry, yes, sir?
Now the Panzerschreck coming over the hill, trying to get at Stuart, but runs out in the nick of time, but does get sniped by an Armada 3 at long range, or 233.
No, that was definitely the mortar, I think.
Okay.
Yes, the mortar. Down to the south, Stromaviki Rocks has taken back part of the town. It's a 14-10, so I mean, yes, there's still going to be a barrage here to the south, and yes, there's going to be some suppression here, but short of some really lucky hits, not seeing a whole lot of very effective use here of those off maps. At least getting rather unlucky for sure.
Yeah, he's mainly using that 76mm off map for just trying to get kills, and that's not really what it's good for. You're mainly just should be using it to stress out the enemy and then do an immediate attack afterwards. So it definitely feels like he's wasted his opportunity a bit of those off maps down south.
And one thing I'm surprised by, too, is that, and I know we're definitely backseat generaling here, but we're not seeing a whole lot of usage of those Maxim AAs. I feel like the Maxim ADA would definitely be extremely useful on this airplane play from you.
Yeah, and also like decent like fire support, all things considering, against infantry.
Absolutely.
And for 15 points, it's not that bad. But of course, it is, you know, a unit you don't really see all that often, which, you know, don't really blame people. If you have an option between a 37mm autocannon or, you know, like 4 Maxims strapped onto the back of a barely functioning Russian truck, I'd take the autocannon.
And that's fair, but when you're really hurting for some mobility and anti-air, like, you need the ADA. You can't just kind of sit there and twiddle your thumbs and say, yeah, we'll get to it eventually.
True.
Looking back to the north, the Strelky push has bogged down a little bit. It's going to bog down even further if these Peakrins start debarking. And now they're just going to start barking. So yeah, the Strelkies retreating over the open area. We're going to get shattered, I'm sure, by these Volksdeutsche and otherwise.
There's not a whole lot of defenses up here left here from gnef. Yeah, it's the Sturmovikis in the town, but not a whole lot of armor. This two is in a nice position to shoot down the road here, and I believe he's trying to snipe out Marder. So nice spot, as long as he doesn't get shot at, because he's completely out in the open. But I feel like UUU be able to retake his northern like farmstead and bring it back to a 15-9.
Well, he just strafed the bejesus out of it. I'm surprised.
Holy
The use of
crap.
those 109, the G6s, really not that potent.
Wow.
I'm sorry, was that a wow?
No, that's like wow, because yeah, it's only like the 130 mil and 250 cals. I think it'd be like 2 strafing runs to kill it. It's not like a Focke-Wulf 190 where it just has, I want to feel like 24 autocannons sometimes just shooting at you.
Just the atomization, the annexation of Puerto Rico. And again, look, there's no anti-air. Tanko de Sant'Niki up the wazoo. I mean, we are into Phase B, so I mean, at this point, I'm sorry, but there's no excuse to have 0 anti-air here.
Yeah, especially for those cluster bombs.
Exactly. I mean, bring in a Yak-9. Yes, that's even more expensive than before. But do something. You need it. Desperately.
Yeah. They keep losing their initiative, every time those tanks get blown up.
You know, I hadn't even thought about that, but I was actually looking down here to the south and seeing 152. It's going to blow that Sturmoviki up. And yes, he's got a huge chunk of tanks lining up for the assault in the south. Was that 2 BA-10s and 2 T-34-76s. But, yeah, 1 cluster run, and that's going to be a Foster Cluck, you know? Just a giant Foster Cluck.
Yeah, a giant Foster Cluck indeed. I think are these tankers going into the town? Or some of them going down south and some are going into the town. And that's a lot of artillery to kill 1 Sturmoviki.
I don't think he knows exactly what's there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Same with all those artillery cells dropping around. The tanker de Sant'Niki probably happy area a little bit late to the out party.
Push over here in the south. In the meantime, we are going to see a shove. And T-231 goes down, and there's still, like clockwork. Ju-88 comes right back in.
1 Pack 38 is going to have to try and hold him back just for the time being.
Don't worry. He's going to blow the road. Here we go. There's going to be at least 2 kills here.
Oh, and it can't really, like, easily spread out.
Okay, wow. That is shocking to me.
Sure.
That is a cheat right there. But you know what? I can't really knock it too hard. He's been very, very lucky so far with that single Ju-88. Tanko de Sant'Niki inside the town, or what's left of it. The Legionari, I think, are going to hold... I was going to say they were going to hold out here, but the Tanko de Sant'Niki are... Oh, no. They're not going to be able to get into that range.
Nope. And Legionaries do have the longer range of their fancy apparatus, and they also have Molotovs too, so they can share the drinks with the Russians quite effectively.
You know, I think that's an important thing in war. You need to be able to kind of, like, you know, put down your rifle and you're right. Share a drink with your enemy.
Yeah, play a bit of football like in the 1914 truce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know, light a little fire in their hearts of camaraderie.
Yo, the Germans were totally offside, just saying.
Exactly on the wrong side of the Maginot. But looking here in the south, this vehicle play might be the closest thing they have to a legitimate assault on the southern slopes. The BA-10s, the T-34-76s, and there's a tank with this on Nikki just kind of marauding on through. There's a single Stug here. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to really solve the situation. And up to the north? I didn't even notice up to the north. Actually, we have a Ju-87 making gun runs on T-34s.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. Pretty much when gnef can get like an armored force going, he makes a really good push. But when all the tanks die, he kind of gets buggered. And especially in his close quarters engagements, his T-34s are going to work wonders. Especially just cost effectiveness against those Stugs. In now we're starting to see a bit more armor here, more Stugs, a bloody yanked Panzer. It's always a pain in the ass to deal with. This could prove to be pretty nasty here for gnef.
You know, and I'm watching. gnef did have a half a second here where his infantry was holding the northern flank, and it wasn't much. It was just a smidge here, but it was almost scary. Another Ju-87 gun run to the south. We'll check that in just a second. I think the IL-2 is going to pick up one of the Ju-87s here. He's not going to be able to limp out in time.
He's going after it. Oh no.
Well, the Ju-87 to the south takes out his target. I legitimately thought the IL-2 was faster than that.
No, he's just a little bit slow today.
And he gets him right at the end.
Wow.
And, whoa, what is that? Dushkas? That's Dushkas that I see? At 37 millimeters? I didn't know the Russians had those. Central position, they took out one of the other gun run Ju-87s. That's the play that needs to happen.
Oh yeah, he's using the Dushkas as transports for the 37 millimeters. A nice 1-2 combo.
To be, you know, pardon my French here, but it took them long freaking enough to get here. But regardless, Tenko Desantniki doing what they do best, engaging troops in the trees, and that's going to be very, very harsh, I think, for the Legionari.
Yeah, it's going to get hot in that forest quite soon. Both sides is chucking mollies, so the Tankos aren't going to win in the numbers engagement share.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
The Tankos?
Oh, no, the Legionari.
Yeah, they're having a rather nasty day. Having those long-range SMGs don't matter in a forest fight. Well, a little bit. You get the better accuracy bonuses sooner. But, well, 4 SMGs over 8 is pretty easy math.
It certainly does seem to be. Pioneer's going to be brought over here, and he's saying screw the front lines. If I swing around behind him, that's going to be, you know, good enough for me. Very interesting. It's a weird scratch attack that's kind of happening over here on the southern side. Strokies and Zis-2s. The Stugs are going down. It's slow, but they are going down.
Yeah, he's managing to get pretty decent trade here with his tanks and anti-tank guns. I do like how he's trying to attack his town from 2 angles, from the front and from the south. I mean, that's Strokies are just driving right in, saying hello to all the Germans. Very close to getting a surrender on some of them, but just not close enough.
Well, there's no officer support there, so nope. This is certainly ripe for the taking. Tenko Desantniki, alone behind enemy lines. We're gonna see them, I think, probably get 86 pretty quickly. Certainly 14-10 in the meantime. Legionary, I'm also surprised. There we go. There's a Legionary now, finally, at long last, going up to engage that T-34-76. And it's a FAU 60. There we go.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And even worse, these Strokies overextend. Now they have Legionary behind them, engaging them as well. That Death's Head, guys, it's expensive. And it's not going to pay for itself immediately, but if you get lucky and your opponent doesn't take the time to clear out everything, this is an opportunity. It's a very big opportunity.
Just not being able to surrender is such a huge benefit for your troop. Well, not for the troops so much. They all end up dying in the end. But for you as the commander, it means you don't have to worry about morale.
There was a lot of responses I wanted to make to that. I think I'll just stick to the whole Mel Gibson thing. All men die, not many men truly live. I think that was a tagline from Braveheart, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
That sounds like a Braveheart line.
Sounds like a Mel Gibson line, too.
Yeah.
But it's 15-9 in the meantime. We are going to see these Strokies down to the south. And Legionari, this is how committed they are. They are so committed, they're calling artillery on their own position. That is certifiable.
Yeah, I hope they crawled into whatever... Oh, not even in the building. They're actually outside the destroyed building there, so they're going to really take the full brunt of that artillery fire.
Also, can we appreciate a Jagdpanzer who's trying to kill Tenko de Santniki with his main cannon and his lone MG-34?
Yeah, he's doing his darndest. Gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, I suppose at the best, that's what we could do. And artillery's coming in like crazy. So... At the end of the day, though, that's a decent trade. Like it or not, I'm happy to lose a vastly understrength squad with the prospect of being able to take back that single flag, which is already getting absolutely masticated.
And it's also, you know, very thematic, like you said. They called the artillery strikes on themselves in a final act of desperation, knowing they're surrounded by the Russian menace.
Oh, absolutely. This anti-air block has been fairly devastating. Sending away BF-109s, they took out a couple Ju-87s, I think, already. But, and, ooh, F-22s. You know, where is the German artillery?
Not on the map. It's off map.
I see what you did there, and I appreciate it. I don't like it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, but yeah, you just have a bunch of Navy F-42s, which are definitely... Especially in these towns and forest fights, like, it's a good map for neighbor FS-42s, usually just due to how bunched up everything is. Up north, we are seeing a push onto the town here from gnef. Actually getting some Strokies and Tankos in here, using the Maxims at long range and bringing in more reinforcements. Like the Pak-38 in the center and the Sug-4 moving in should get some pretty good kills.
Yeah, that is a rather unfortunate happenstance there. And at long last, a Flak 36 actually out for the German side of things. So we are seeing moments of breath and life from both sides. The Dushkas moving forwards, desperate to get some firepower in on some of that attacking infantry. I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time, though.
No, I don't think so. And honestly, UUU has done a fantastic job with that southern town, guessing it so early, as he's really diverted a lot of gnef's attention, rather than more of, you know, that southern hill push. Because he was pretty close in taking it, but you can't really afford to lose your side's town, because it's like two flags very close to each other. It's a huge point. It's a pretty big point bastion, flag bastion, whatever you want to call it. So you want to have that town under your control.
Scoring opportunity, might that be a good way for us to fill in? Legionari are going down in droves. Jeez Louise. And you know what? I hadn't thought about bringing a 222 in. And we're going to see very shortly, I think, why that's a bad idea. Oh no, the Strokie goes down. That is rather convenient. Well done.
Yeah, just almost managing to completely deal with that town push. The tank of these keys are going to come in and say hello, grenade? Oh, I think it is barely out of grenade range here. So the 222 can just spot and finish those guys off easy peasy.
We're going to see one last throw of the dice looks over here in the south as a nice little column comes in, but to the north, this Ju-88, he's got to have gotten something like 6 or 7 kills.
Yeah, he's been pretty prominent. Frankly, he hasn't been killing anything too expensive, but it's still been tactical kills, as, like I said before, pretty much gnef's pushes have been backed up by tanks. When the tanks go boom, his push goes not zoom.
Absolutely.
I was trying to find something else for trying to zoom, but I thought zoom. was like the best choice. I don't think it was a good choice in hindsight, but we're gonna have to live with my mistake.
That is true. One other thing that we're going to be seeing as a mistake is these poor strokies are coming up this road, and it's becoming the highway to hell already. Yes, there's an IL-2. He does take him out, but these 3 strokies should have been 4. Should have been 4. We see any artillery? Still no artillery from the German side. Not even, like, light pieces either. I'm very surprised. I kind of thought we'd see something there, but 17-7. So gnef kind of getting kicked around here a bit. Is it the fact that Tyurina over here has just been so, not dominating, but, or is it just, or rather, the 17th over Tyurina, or is it just the unlucky loss of the town so early?
Yeah, I think it's the loss of the town. The Legionaries are extremely good units, especially in town fights. Is the extra 50 meters in SMGs it gives you such more effective firepower in those town fights, where it's not like a forest fight where you're only engaging at 100 meters. And yeah, using the cluster bomber and knocking out the tanks, because Jeff's infantry is just alright. He had those thermovikis early on, which was great, but a lot of them are dead now.
And I think, as he should, he does tap out. The KD was not as devastating as it might have could have been.
No.
We are certainly going to see that it felt devastating.
Yeah, you just had a very good like choke points in that southern town. But yeah, looking at kills.
Anti-air, we have one taking out 2 planes by himself. I'm just saying, I wonder, and this is another hindsight 2020 thing, but I wonder what happens if he brings in anti-air 8 minutes sooner.
Or just had a fighter plane to shoot down the Ju-88.
Exactly. Now we have like a PaK-30 who's got 4 kills. SP, the 233, he's got 5 kills. The Ju-88, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 kills. 5 of them are hardened AFEs. I mean, the guys who put out were extremely important. Heck, even if, like I said, the BF-109s takes out 2 anti-tank guns and that little recon plane, SPW, bunch of infantry. So, I mean, some of this was certainly unlucky. I think that early, like you said, that early town engagement knocked him for a loop, but I think there was definitely an opportunity to recover there.
Yeah, and even that 222 just got a decent amount of kills.
Exactly. But, any other thoughts, sir?
No, that was just a good match from both sides. Rolled on to UUU. You got it.
So, any other thoughts before UUU and me call it quits?
No, let's bugger off.
Alright, so folks, until next time, bye. This is Colin Ulrich.
And this is Rangru. Take it easy.